Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video we are going to be talking about community service and basically how you can do it during these troubling times, and I'm not going to say because I don't want to be demonetized. So without further ado, if you're looking for more information on community service, keep watching this video. Disclaimer, before I get into this particular topic, not all of these things are going to work for you. Some things may work more than others, but I just want to put that out there that these are just suggestions. You don't necessarily have to do these things, but if you're just looking for some ideas, this video will help you out. So with community in itself, it is difficult to be involved right now because they have limitations on the number of people who can be involved, time restrictions, don't necessarily want you to touch things of that nature. It can be difficult. So what are some ways that you can combat that? Well, one community service thing that you could think of that a lot of people haven't put into focus is you could make donations. So they still have canned good drives going on where very limited touching is involved, or you can touch with gloves and pre-packaged things and don't have to worry about necessarily physically touching things to where it's like transmitting germs. You can always prep for that by wearing gloves and other kinds of safety equipment. You can also do clothing drives if you don't want to donate your own clothes because you're afraid that the current situation right now will affect your ability to make donations. You can always buy things and donate it. I wouldn't necessarily recommend that, but thrift stores and Goodwills and things like that, they're still, or not necessarily Goodwill because you get paid for those, but you know, clothing drives that accept clothes for free, they just accept your donations, those are still available to people. So you can still make donations that way, be it clothes, food, or monetary donations. Make a donation to a charity, and those things can count as community service. Now, the way that you would log that type of community service, the way I used to do it in undergrad was for every $1 would count as, or for every $2 would count as an hour, for every $5 would count as an hour, 30 minutes, whatever, however you do it, whatever the stipulations are for your donating service compared to how much time you think you would deserve for that, I would count that as community service, and just bear those things in mind when you're doing community service. So don't donate $1 and say that that was worth an hour of your time. Be a little more realistic in your donations. And some organizations don't even require that you monetize, or they don't require that you log money for donations. You could say during the pandemic, you could say during this time, I've donated X amount of dollars to such and such charity to show my support. And people will accept that as community service because it's something that you're donating, being it time or money, it will still count. As far as physical activities you could take part in during this time, you can always do highway cleanups. Those already provide safety equipment for you, goggles, gloves, vests, whatever is required, they can provide those things to you in order for you to do the cleanup. So things like that are still available for anyone who wants to do community service. You can participate in a highway cleanup or a trash cleanup or a recycling drive, something of that nature, and those things will count. Not only does it count by the hour, but it counts by you actually making a contribution to society, and that can work in your favor during these troubling times as well. So how do you log your community service? You can log with a personal log, which is just you jotting down days and times that you've done specific things. Locations would also help, with an organization would also help. Some organizations require signatures from a supervisor stating that you were there to complete the community service. If you're unsure about whether that is a requirement, you can ask the membership chair prior to you participating in the event, or you can backtrack. You can leave that date or that signature line blank for your supervisor to sign later on. Just make sure that you're keeping a proper log of your community service hours so that when it's time for you to participate in intake, when it's time for you to present your community service hours, you have that information readily available for anyone who is looking for it. So those are my main recommendations for anyone who is interested in community service or how to complete community service during these troubling times. You can use these right now, or you can use these later when things have died down a little bit. But these are just some examples for anyone who's just looking on how to get started. I hope that this video helps you guys, and you can give me a thumbs up if you like it. If you need help with intake, or if you have any questions related to intake, I recommend that you check out my intake prep course. That course has a lot of information. The information will always be provided in the description box for anyone who's just looking at what I have to offer. You can take a look at the description box and click the link there. I also have services available in the description box, where there's a link for it in the description box that you guys are more than welcome to use, so feel free to do that. If you guys have any questions, you can always message me on Instagram, and I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye!